Take it away, Dave.
Did you feel like John Facenda should have been behind this game with talking about Larry Brown grinding away for... Actually, there would have been Summerall talking about 3 and 4 yard games for Larry Brown in RFK Stadium.
You know, it was one of those games where you knew at some point the athleticism at Penn State, the advantage that they had, it was going to surface. You didn't know what the...
Well, I didn't, but you did.
You didn't know what the tipping point would be. It was the John Reed interception. That kind of got them, momentum was on their side, and then the passing game. They're athletic enough to do that to a team like Buffalo. But man, when you look at the scoreboard and you see they won by 32, and you see how badly they struggled at scrimmage, particularly in the first 30 minutes, it's hard to come out of this performance. If you're Penn State, it's hard to come out of this performance feeling good. Definitely not great, but not good.
I think James Franklin was at least honest about this. He said, I never thought we had any consistency. We were just living, they were living on explosions. They were living on fireworks, and that ain't going to be enough against a team with more talent. This was a very well-coached team. Lance Leipold, I guess I get that he's never going to get a big-time job, but I think he could be the coach at Illinois or Indiana or one of those places where they've been hiring these carnival barkers like Tim Beckman and P.J. Fleck.
I miss Tim Beckman, Dave.
The Beckman regime was not long enough, but that was real. That was old-time football that I think a certain sector of these fans really enjoyed in the first half. Even though it was 10-7, it was consistent, tough, blocking and tackling football.
I'll say this for Buffalo: if any game they're in this year where the talent level is equal, they're going to win because of him.
They were better coached and they were a steadier team, but Penn State's explosive talent won the day.
Yeah, Penn State's offensive line right now is one of the weakest links on the team. I know they got new starters. Rashid Walker was making his second career start.
Still can't run.
They could not run the ball. The running backs never really got going. Combined, the 4 of them was something like 11 carries for 39 yards. Clifford had the long run, 58 yards. I mean, that's just not going to fly once the schedule gets trickier. And I just feel like Penn State on defense, the thing that I think most people were worried about was the quality and the depth at the defensive tackle position. I think that kind of reared its ugly head. But I don't think anyone in the front 7 really had a game they could hang their hat on. I think that there was too much inconsistency, missed tackles, bad routes to the ball. It was a quiet night for the defensive ends. It just really, I thought, was a little bit disappointing for about 35 minutes.
But it was in keeping with the personality of this team last year that they could run down plays. They could run around plays and catch you, but they didn't really punch you in the mouth, and they couldn't stop drives at the end of games when they needed to.
Yeah,
will this defense ever be able to do that?
Well, I think because this team's deeper, I think the depth also helped. I do think that their best football is still ahead of them. Some of the young guys are going to get better, but to see a Buffalo offensive line that we knew was pretty good, kind of really control the game in the first half on the road in this environment, that to me surprised me to the extent that they did it. And I think it was a wake-up call. Hopefully it was a wake-up call for them because, Pitt's going to try and hang around much like this team did. And eventually, the longer you hang around in a game, the better your chance of winning. I thought that Penn State played great for about 20 minutes, but that's just not good enough. It's not that good enough. And in the Big Ten, someone's going to catch up to them. There's 3 or 4 teams that could have beaten them easily, I think, in the Big Ten.
Yeah, there's different teams they're going to face after Pitt.
Yeah.
Maryland, we saw a really explosive team, a lot like them today, and they're going to be playing at that place where this place can't help them. After Reed's interception, his pick 6, the place came alive, and they were booing him before that. In Iowa, you've got a completely different kind of team that is a basic, fundamental team that's going to beat them with better athletes the way Buffalo did, I think. So I think you're right.
Yeah.
On the plus side, Jahan Dotson, a very good game, an encouraging
smooth kid. I think best hands on the team, runs good routes. Matt Millen told me Paul Warfield was the comparison.
Hey, that's a good one. That is smooth.
Back in July.
It doesn't get smoother than that.
He reminds me a little bit of Jordan Norwood, and I mean that as a compliment. I really like Jordan Norwood. I also thought Pat Fryermuth really stepped to the front. That 4th and 2 where he made a tough catch.
Probably the play of the game.
Made it after
the juggling catch
the
and
juggling
then
catch
ran
and
it
then
in.
the catch and run was a huge play in the game. It just for a 260-pound guy, he's very athletic. You know, I thought he was touch and go to play after that shot he took in the first half. I mean, they needed him at full strength. He was, but at some point, if you rely solely on speed to win a game in the Big Ten, it's going to catch up to you. They're going to have to bring their lunch pail to work in the Big Ten.
Not only that,
and right now they have some work.
Not only that, after they went ahead, you remember that Matt Myers threw that go route that should have hit. You know, if he just didn't get bumped out of bounds. Those are the plays that I think a more athletic team they're going to be in trouble against, and you know it's a cautionary kind of game. 45-13 in Beaver Stadium. But not really conclusive.
We got to get you to Downingtown. It's getting late. It's past your bedtime.
Like we're going anywhere? You just see the red lights out there? That's it from Beaver Stadium until next week against Pitt right here for a noon start. You ready for breakfast? Adios.